Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are doing a ride along in the Z01 Camaro. If you hadn't stopped in and checked out the channel before, just go back and check out the videos. You can see some outside footage of the car. And if you're not subscribed already, like this video and subscribe. We'll bring you some more Camaro content. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a 2014 Camaro Z01. For those of you who don't know, it's an LSA engine, LS-based engine, and it's supercharged. I think the numbers are like 580 horsepower. Of course, that is at the engine. I think dyno through this is automatic through the 6-speed automatic. These cars are dyno in anywhere from 440 to 480 through like I said, through automatic, and depending on the dyno. Overall, I mean, you could daily this car. It's no issue whatsoever. I drive it a lot to work and just running errands around town. As most people mention, the vision inside the car is not the greatest. The windows are just very short, all the way around, including windshield, and then your side windows as well. Yeah, the only annoying thing I found out with the short windows is going through a drive-through when you go to get a cup out. If you don't watch it, a lot of times your cup will actually hit the side of the window. So the windows are short. Got the heat down here. It's December, guys, and it's pretty chilly here in southwestern Virginia. It's about 38 degrees. No snowfall yet, so the roads are nice and dry. So that's why we're in the Camaro. It's a car and we will drive it. It's not a garage queen. I get out and drive this car. It's been driven in the rain and everything, and it does fantastic in there. It's got a few settings actually for that. You can look them up online, but like sport mode, race mode, whatever. So if you're driving in the rain, as long as you keep your foot out of it and take it out of a sport mode where it's a little stiffer and have a softer ride, it does much better. Really, it's a 2014 car, so it's right around that turn point where they started to put in all these cool little features. So it's got these 4 gauges down here. You can't. All right, there. Stock. I'll be honest, I don't even know what these cars run stock boost levels, because number one, the boost gauge is in a pretty bad location to try to drive and look at. But it is what it is. You can have a passenger tell you what your boost level is as you drive. Cruising, we're going 60 miles an hour right now, running around 1500 RPM. I mean, smooth as could be. Power's there, so it doesn't necessarily downshift as you're going up and down hills. Just a very good riding car, and I actually keep it in sport mode most of the time. It's a little softer if you keep it in the touring mode, but for the most part I keep it in sport mode all the time. You do have the optional traction control button. You hit the button once, it turns traction control off. You hit it again, and it turns, I guess it's stable track off, and then it brings up some options. Your first one is performance traction for wet road. It keeps the active handling on. Your second mode is dry, for dry road, and keeps the active handling on, and the suspension's in tour mode. Then you've got sport one, which keeps the active handling on and changes the suspension to sport. The fourth mode is sport 2. It turns off active handling while still maintaining the sport suspension mode. And then the last one is race mode. This turns the active handling off. Everything's off. Its suspension mode is track. The steering does get heavier when you do that. You can feel the steering. If I'm not mistaken, these cars are electronic power steering. So you do feel the heavier, more connected steering feel. And the suspension stiffens up. I mean, it's unreal. I don't know if you can see through the footage, but when you hit a bump, you feel it more so than if you was back in your previous earlier levels in the traction control lineup. So that's as far as it goes performance wise. It does have paddle shifters, and they are fairly responsive. 2012 did not have the big CD screen and backup camera, and the 2014 did. I think they changed that option in 2013, along with the tail lights, and I think that's about it for the most part. Interiors look the same. As you can see, I think over in the passenger side you can see Z01. It looks like it's monogrammed in the seat actually. It's got some suede in the seat with leather surrounding it and red stitching. But that's really about it, guys. I mean, it's no McLaren or any car like that, you know. It's just a Camaro. It's a nice end Camaro that's very comfortable to ride in, and that you can jump in, go beat up the track, whether it's a, you know, autocross course, or if it's a drag strip, you can go there and have fun. I will do a few little pulls here for you. We'll let you guys hear the supercharger. As I mentioned, with the stock intake on it, the supercharger you really could not hear at all. Since I put the cold air inductions intake, that did make a big difference as far as sound goes. I don't know if you can feel it or not. I mean, you know how that goes. Dyno numbers may show up, but you know, 10 or 20 horsepower, you're really not going to be able to feel that much. And that's, you know, kind of what they're saying intake and the tune will do on these cars. So yeah, right now I'm in sport mode. I have traction control off because I just bad habit of keeping it off, because it's embarrassing when you try to do a burnout and you can't because you left traction control on. So if you ever decide to do a burnout, make sure you turn traction control off or you'll look like an idiot. Okay, regardless, back to a pull here so you can hear the supercharger. I'm going slow down here. We're going to go about 55 miles an hour and just get on the throttle since we are in Mexico. Alright, good little pull there. The Mexican traffic's a little bit heavy, so we don't want to go too crazy. As you could hear, the video probably doesn't pick it up as great as in person, just like most recorders, but it does have a good whine to it, and it pulls very hard. I'll tell you what, I'll actually glance down here at the boost gauge and we'll see how much boost it makes. The boost gauge goes from vacuum down to 30 is what your vacuum shows, then it's 0, and then the high end is 15. So the most you can run is 15 psi to be able to show on the gauge. I've seen videos where they've pegged it out past 15, so you don't know what you're running. This gauge is not a real accurate one. It's just pretty much a fancy feature for your passenger to be impressed, is the way I see it. So looking at that actually looks like it was about 8 psi, give or take. Like I said, it's very difficult to see because you got a 0 and a 15 and it just goes somewhere in between it. So we'll just say around 8 psi is what the supercharger is pushing. Of course, as you put you know, ported throttle body, ported heads, long tube headers, ported blowers, snout, whatever, and change your pulley size, all that's gonna change with your boost level as well. Okay, just because you're running a high boost level doesn't mean you're running more horsepower. You can put long tube headers on these cars and they actually drop a few pounds of boost, they say, but you don't lose horsepower. Boost is not a measure of horsepower, it's a measure of resistance. A lot of people get that confused. It's like blowing through a straw and compared to a 2-inch pipe. The straw is going to have much more psi through it if you put the same air pressure versus the 2-inch pipe, which has less resistance. It's kind of a poor comparison, but you know, some people that might be a little easier. Alright guys, here's the gauge setup. Of course, my mile per hour gauge in the center you can adjust to a few different whatever, you know, but mile per hour, we'll just keep it here for this video's sake. subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to put out some good content this year. I'm looking into getting a little bit better camera setup. This is just the GoPro Hero 5 Session, so it's a little like 2x2 action camera, which doesn't do bad, but we're looking for a little bit better vlogging camera, as well as, you know, maybe pick up another GoPro camera as well. But that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching.